go. This is Bob with Film the Police 911, and we're talking about these trees here. They put up no trespassing signs, and Stop Demolishing Portland has put their signs up. The problem is if you got if you have the if you stop cutting the trees and you stop tearing down the houses and stuff, you have no way of building more houses. So what you'll wind up with is about 20-30,000 people coming into Portland with no place to stay. There is one of the solutions they have is taking away houses that are vacant and opening up city houses. The problem is who's going to pay the bill. You have insurance. Who's going to pay the housing insurance? Who's going to pay the utilities? You can't pay the utilities on food stamps. And you can't, the other question is reimbursement of the owners of the property. Well, they invest money in to make a profit. That's how capitalism works. If you steal their houses from them and say we're doing it for the better of Portland, you still have, thousands of or hundreds of homeless people, and you still got people coming in from out of state needing to rent places and stuff. So it puts the city in a bad situation because they need housing, and they can build housing here, but they have to take out these trees. If you take out these trees, then you get environmentalists upset. These are redwood trees, native of California. They're an invasive species here. That means that they're not from Portland. They're not from this area. Sort of like the plants they're taking out in other areas. So it's a big question, and people expect the city to cover everything, but they can't say where the money's going to come from. If you steal people's property, you got to reimburse them. You don't want to. The city doesn't want to be on a hook for a $100,000 lawsuit if someone gets hurt or killed in a house that they took. So it's quite a dilemma. And so one thing that people may want to consider is, do they want Portland the way it is now and not demolish houses and trees? But then you got to make Portland unlivable for everyone that's coming here, because the fact of it is, people's going to move here and people's going to have money, and the ones that don't have money are going to have to move and find another place. So, landlords or landowners will rule, and the other people that aren't landowners going to have to pay a fortune. So there's a kid trying to climb that fence right there. So yeah, It's an interesting scenario, and no one seems to have the answer to these questions. You know, um, if they reran the river um, and built on flood zones, then you'd have problems with that. So this is Bob from the police signing off.